Welcome to the HohO Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Cottage Studio, so welcome to the HohO Show, and as always, I am your host, HoHo. I got it right, hooker.
I was wondering. I was waiting. For those of you that were watching last time, you know exactly what we're laughing about.
I totally screwed it up last time. I was like, I don't even remember what I said, but it wasn't right. I was like, we're broadcasting from the HoHO Show. I don't even know. And hello, Linda, over there in Spreaker land. How are you doing? And by the way, welcome everybody. Welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook. How y'all's doing? So guys, I kind of got an announcement. We're going to start off there. Kind of got an announcement. So Vector's over here. He's yelling at us already. He's been noisy. So I had an idea, and this is after listening to, different talking heads, from politics to, press to just mainstream media, just idea that came up to me. And hello, Rob and Matt over there in Facebook land. Matt put, good Lord, look at the heads of cabbage on those two. I know, right? So, yeah. But listening to them guys and listening to them talk about the Constitution, and it's like, dude, guys, you haven't cared about the Constitution for years. No. So just, So it was an idea that was like, before we can really start to defend the Constitution, we kind of got to know the Constitution. So I'm starting a mini-series in a couple weeks, the first of next month, and it's basically going to be talking about, reading, breaking it down, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rest of the amendments. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be breaking down. Now, here's the thing. I want you all's help on when this is going to be, because I got some ideas, and I've already had some people, tell me which direction they would like me to go. But it's either going to be tacked on as a segment on the regular Saturday show, or it's going to be like 5 o'clock on Saturday, or 7 or 5 on Sunday. And I actually agree with Linda on this. I very much think it should be a standalone thing instead of attached to the regular Saturday show. And I'm kind of leaning more towards, 7 p.m. on Sunday, Central Time, of course. But let me know what you guys think. Okay, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestions. But that's what I'm looking at doing. And I tell you guys what, all right, this actually cracks me up. And you can relate to this definitely. I'm sure you can, right? I have no issues with the Constitution. Okay, because here's the thing, man. You don't need, some professor, anybody telling you what the Constitution means, because it's a small little booklet thing. I mean, it's tiny. It's not that big. We're not like reading tax code here. This is Constitution. Right. It's simplistic. It's simple. Okay. It's not a big document. It's pretty easy to understand. And my problem is I'll read this stuff in older English, and it's like my mind just kind of stays in that mode and trying to explain it to somebody. I'm trying to explain it to him in Old English, kind of like reading, King James Version of the Bible, trying to translate that to now. It's like my brain's thinking in King James Version. I can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had that issue too. So, yeah, Matt even agrees I'd definitely do that on a Sunday. And that's what I'm leaning more towards. And that's what everybody else seems to be leaning towards.
If you want to get really crazy with it, July 4th coming up, you can do like a 5-hour show on July 4th and just go from the very front of it to the very end.
now you're just knucking futs. That's not, I'm not doing a 5-hour show, man. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Again, let me be clear on that. Okay, there for a second I thought he just dove off the table. That would have been epic. So that's what I'm thinking about.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Just had a vehicle just drive on by. I didn't actually see him, but I can hear him. That was great. All right. Anyway, guys. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Mr. Vacker, welcome over there in Facebook land. I thought you knew how to use a freezer. It works.
Freezer?
Yeah. They were complaining Thursday. It's like, oh, there's your ice machine is not working. Dude, there's a lever. You know, once it gets so full with ice, it turns itself off. You got to flip that thing down for it to make more ice.
Right. Yeah.
Apparently, July 4th, that they let us out to celebrate our freedom, right? Can you imagine having to celebrate the 4th of July in lockdown? Yeah. So, guys, we got some things to talk about, and we got some things to talk about in that arena. Actually, talking about the coronavirus. I mean, not really the coronavirus, because we've covered a lot on that. And I mean, there's no need to drag a dead horse around the square. There's just no need to do that. It's an inside joke.
Yes.
You got to be a Taylor villain to really understand that one. But anyway, how you guys doing? Welcome to the HohO Show. I'm your host. Well, maybe not at that time, but if you would have, like if Gatton would have put it down whenever he got here instead of not. He's trying to defend himself. He's like, the ice tray was empty. It wouldn't have made any in time. Well, okay, but
Ice, baby.
do vanilla.
Ice, baby.
Do vanilla.
Ice, baby.
Yo, man, let's get out of here. Word to your mother. Dude, that's a good song. I actually listened to that earlier today. It was on Sirius XM. I like Sirius XM. I listen to it all the time. Anyway, guys, so did you happen to catch the presser where Donald Trump did just the amazing slap in the face to all the people that was in the press corps?
With the videos and everything? Yeah, that was awesome.
That was so funny. That was hilarious. Rob put a good one in here. He said there's a rally coming up in Springfield, May the 1st, if the lockdown isn't released. It's good news or good information. So, y'all, if you are in the Springfield, Illinois area, definitely head on over there and check that out. And Linda put in here, yes, I saw that. He is still getting jabs and the subsequent pressures. Yeah, he is. He's getting jabs. And not only is he getting jabs from the Democrats, he's actually getting jabs from the Republican side as well. Because they're kind of ticked off at him because he took away. Well, here's the headline. Let me just show you. That's not the right screen. Or sorry, I went the wrong place. Republican leaders furious with Trump for blowing up their key campaign talking points before the 2020 election. And this is coming from Raw Story. And the picture on this, I mean, just look at that picture. Look at the Trump face on that. He's like, yeah, you guys did this. You said this, because that's the thing. What he did on this, it was epic, guys. It really was. It was epic. A little childish, I'll admit, but I mean, hey, it's Trump. What do you expect from the president? I mean, he's Trump. And this is what I love about the president.
Right.
He doesn't just take a punch. All right. He doesn't take a punch. He fights back. He gets in there and bam, Nancy put in here that, stop it. His eyes are shaking like he's on crack or something. He is.
What have you been feeding him?
Nothing. Nancy is too busy enjoying her fancy refrigerator full of designer ice cream to get more money out for small businesses. You're right, and we are going to talk about this a little later. And that is a good, I like the mad face, the mean face on there too. That's a good mean face, Linda. That's an amazing meme face. I like that. But that's what I love about the president, because he doesn't just take a punch. He hits back. You know, he doesn't just take the BS, the Bravo Sierra, that the Democrats and other people shovel at him. He's like, no, guys, here's the timeline. Since you guys have a very bad habit of having amnesiacness and not remembering what happened yesterday, allow me to refresh your memory. So he had a kindergartner put this video together, and I say that because I've got better editing skills than what whoever did this video. I mean, granted, they wasn't looking for production quality, but even still, come on. It's the White House, for crying out loud. You can do a better job than that. I mean, dude, really, it's like, I mean, that was PowerPoint on the worst possible scale. I could have whipped you up a video in like 10 minutes. You know, I mean, cereal.
Cereal?
Lucky Charms, even. Maybe Cocoa Puffs.
Fruit Loops.
Maybe.
But he really nailed it to him.
Oh, yeah. Matt put, hoorah, I'll take off work to go to that rally. Heck yeah. But that's what he did, though. I mean, the president put, he put everything out. He put the timeline. He put what these guys said from their own mouths. And then he's looking at him like, yeah, you said that. That was you. So don't go, once this video is over and start yelling at me about what I said. Here's the timeline with what you said when you said it, with them guys sitting right there having to watch the video with their own eyes and watch themselves say the Bravo Sierra that was coming out of their mouths. Epic.
Yeah.
It was epic. I laughed so hard. I really did. I didn't grab the clip because it's like, dude, okay, we've got YouTube. Just watch it.
Right.
Just watch it. It was good stuff. And that's the thing, too. I mean, the Republicans are mad because they're taking away their talking points. It's like, just because Trump used it in that video yesterday doesn't mean you can't use it tomorrow on how full of crap they are.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything, he brought it to the light to where it should help him later on by using it.
Exactly. They're not going to accuse them of being liar, which, I mean, only a Democrat would accuse a Republican of lying about something that a Democrat said and trying to make everybody think that it was the Republican that said the bad thing. Okay, I know what I meant, but I have absolutely no idea if that came out of my mouth the way I intended to do. Just throwing that out there.
Words.
Yeah, words. English. I couldn't remember what the English word for that was. That was never mind. So yeah, there was that. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I mean, that really was just a highlight of my day whenever I seen that video. And I'm like, yeah, that is epic. That is epic. And Rob gave me a link over there for me to follow. I'll have to look at that, but I'll bring that up like on the break or something. Let's see, where should we go to next? Should we talk about... No, I don't want to talk about that. Should we talk about the... maybe we should talk about that. Or do I want to do that on... I think we'll do that on the next segment. Talk about the paycheck protection, needing the replenishing and the stuff like that. Oh, Rob said this is the link to the rally page. So, okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Rob, for putting that in there. Yeah, we'll do that on the next segment. Okay, this was actually hilarious. Let me go ahead and bring... Oh, we should talk about Pritzker.
Yay.
We should talk about Gravy Train Pritzker.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Illinois governor. Okay? We call him Gravy Train. Or Gravy something. I don't know. Now, look, I'm not making fun of him because he's fat. I'm making fun of him because I'm fat. And us fat people, we can make fun of each other because we know what it's like to get cut and then brown gravy or rocky road get bleeding out of our veins. We know what that's like. It's horrible. It sucks. I mean, you got dogs running up to you and just randomly licking you for no apparent reason. Like it tastes good or something. It's like, just like that. That was good, right?
Yeah.
There's something not quite right with me, but
no peanut butter involved, right?
No peanut. No, we don't need. We got brown gravy in our veins. We don't need any peanut butter. So that's what happens sometimes. So here's this headline, and this is actually from Forbes. Illinois Governor Pritzker secretly bought medical supplies from China, and the White House is not happy. Here's the thing, guys. All right, we've got N95 masks being made from My Pillow, being made from let's just say a butt ton of other companies out there. We've got respirators, incinerators. No, that's not it. What's the machines that the thing with the
ventilators?
The ventilators getting made by Chevy and Ford and even the U.S. places in like Toyota companies. I think some Toyota factories.
Right.
Getting here. So why? With all these American companies supporting America by producing this stuff and keeping our workers employed, why would Gravy Train Pritzker buy stuff from China? Can you answer that for me? I have no idea.
Me either.
Yeah. So, and hello, Daryl, over there in Facebook land. Good to see you, sir. So, yeah, I am... That says Planet Whispers?
Can't see from here.
Yeah, that's way far away for you. Hold on. Yep. No, I'm sorry. That's Plain Whisper. Hello, Plain Whisper over there in Twitch land. And hello, oh boy, Sid Joe. Rob put in there because Democrats are anti-American. That's right. And they are. They're in love with China. They're in love with communism. They're in love with socialism. And that's not the American way. It's just not. And that's my thing. We are, as in the United States of America, we are the only country of our caliber, the only country that has the type of political system that we do, government that we have. It is a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. We have talked about that on previous shows. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which is stand. That's always what I thought they said, for which is stand. I'm like, why are witches standing for a republic? I didn't get it. I was like, what in the world, guys?
The whole Salem witch trial thing.
I guess. I was so confused on that. That's why, for witches stand. But, anyway. Moving on, HoHo. Sorry. They happen sometimes.
Sometimes.
But this is, the only type of government of its kind. Why would you want to... Doug put which? And hello, Doug. Welcome. But yeah, it's the only country that has a government of its kind. Why would you want to break it down and destroy it whenever, if you want socialism, you can go to a socialist country? They're out there. Venezuela. Prime example. If you want communism, you can go to a communist nation, China. If you want these different types of governments, you can go there.
Right.
Don't bring there here. We like what we got. You go there. Go over there and then stay there. Why? Yeah. Did Bernie Sanders vacation in Mother Russia? Why did he do that?
I don't know.
I seen a meme the other day, and it was absolutely hilarious. It's like, okay, even Democrats know that senile is better than socialism. Because Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Come on, you guys have had to have seen some of the clips and the audio of Bernie Sanders. Just amazing auditory things. He's worse than I am whenever it comes to speaking English. He does. This, and to the thing that, the thing, talking about the Emancipation Proclamation thing, right, where he's talking, and yeah, I'm like, it's like, dude, even I learned that back in high school. Now, granted, it was a little bit, a couple more years for him since high school. But anyway.
You see where a lot of Bernie's former supporters are really teed off that he dropped out. And I seen one article, said a lot of them are not going to back Biden because they're ticked off for what how he backed out of everything. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I don't blame him, because I mean, granted, dude, Sanders got the shaft 2016. Mm-hmm. He totally did. I mean, there's no, why I stop, huh? But there's no. He got the shaft. I mean, that's all there is to it. 2016, he had it, okay, and he bowed out gracefully and whatnot, and then this time he didn't even get to he was there. He made it. There was him and one other guy. I got the hiccups, and I can't get rid of them right now.
As long as you don't have the hiccup farts or the hiccup
burps. Hiccup sneezes suck.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Matt put, I want to see Joe Biden sniff Bernie Sanders. That would be amazing. I like the way you think, sir. So, yeah. So I understand that the Bernie bros were very, very ticked off in 2016, but this time, Bernie Sanders was head to head with Joe Biden. He couldn't, he bowed out of the race early. It's like, dude, I mean, come on. And if I was a Bernie bro, I'd be pretty ticked off about this too. I mean, think about it. These guys, he was a grassroots man. Bernie Sanders was a grassroots. Now, granted, he wasn't getting the nomination any way you look at it, okay? Because Bernie Sanders is the Democrat version of President Trump. He is.
Right.
Think about it. He's a grassroots individual. He's got, the blue collar, grassroots force behind him. He's the guy who does not take, big money, big corporate money. He doesn't do that. They didn't want him in there because they knew they wouldn't be able to control him. They would have no leverage on him. They didn't want him in there anyway. Granted, he wasn't going to get the nomination, but he still could have fought like hell. And he didn't. Instead, he chose to take his money that everybody gave him. He took his ball and went home. Not because he didn't get picked on the team he wanted, but because, why not? He's old. He didn't want to go through that. I mean, Joe Biden going through, can you imagine Joe Biden going through 8 years of presidency?
Wow.
I know. And Bernie, dude, is he older than Biden? I know they're like 1 year difference in age. 178, sure. 177 or something to that effect. And I tell you what, dude, Sanders he's got it. The man is there. Well, I mean, he's nuts. He's crazy, but I mean, he's there.
His faculties are there, but his ideology still sucks.
Yeah. Yes. What he said. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to talk about, we really didn't even talk about
Gravy
Pritzker.
Train Pritzker.
we really didn't. We just kind of went right on by that one. Hey, where'd it go? Where did who go?
Beep,
Never
beep.
mind. That was a Top Gun reference, just in case you guys missed that. Dude, I've been doing Top Gun references for the past, month. Dude, Maverick, has that been out yet? Is Maverick out yet?
I'm not sure.
Y'all tell me. The movie Maverick, I want to see it. I'm a fan of Top Gun. Everybody's excited about the new movie Maverick except for one guy. There's one guy that's not excited about the movie coming out.
Who's that?
Goose.
Wow.
I'm going to hell.
You're going to hell. His goose was cooked. Going right with you.
Heads up. All right, anyway, we are going to go take a quick break. I apologize. That was horrible. Man, how could you? Man. Speaking of, we're going to play the song titled Psycho. Just a couple minutes, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HoHO Show. And of course, I'm your host.
HoHO.
We're still laughing about that whole not even talking about Pritzker.
Yeah.
Instead, we've lost that love and feeling for putting that song in my head, sir.
That's what they
for
said
you.
too. You know, when they were doing the mock, the 9-point G-force thing, and they were asking, well, what was she doing while you were doing that? Who was giving them the bird? The bird? Yeah,
the finger.
The finger.
Yes, I know the finger goose. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate it when it does that.
Ooh.
That lifted me up a little bit. There's an elephant underneath my chair.
Ooh, we'll keep it down there.
We'll try. So,
Gravy train.
no, it doesn't taste all that good. I mean, it really doesn't. I've not tried to add the water in it and get the gravy, but I mean, as is, it's not real good. I mean, puppy chow's the best. I'm a fan of puppy chow. I like that. Not that I've ever had dog food.
Yeah.
On purpose? Wait,
Yeah.
no. I can't say that one either.
Nope.
It was totally on purpose. My dad started it. I blame him. Because he told me a story. He goes, son, I got a story. What happened was, and that's not actually what happened, but I mean, it's just the way I tell the story because it's my story now, you know. What happened was his buddy had a dog. And just before, and this dog died. But like right before this dog died, they got like a huge bag. Like it was huge. A huge bag of dog biscuits. And so since there was no dog to eat the biscuits, they started to eat the biscuits. And he said, son, because that's what he called me, was son. And I said, what? He said, there's a reason they call them milk bones. And I'm like, oh yeah, what's that? He said, because you need a glass of milk. They're dry. I'm like, oh. So I'm sitting there, because we had a dog. We had a Cocker Spaniel, and the dog got my name. Never mind. We won't talk about that. But the dog got my name. And so I'm like, hey, dog. Hey, I ain't telling you what my name was going to be. And the dog was like, because that's what the dog did. And was like, here's a biscuit. And then I'm looking at the biscuit and I'm looking at the dog. And then I'm like, gave the rest of it to the dog. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I needed water. I needed some milk, but it wasn't bad. Anyway, so here's, I don't know how I got talking about a dog. Anyway.
Do you want to talk about Pritzker yet?
Well, yeah, because there's some state governors out there that are doing just amazing things, okay? Pritzker's one of them, with that whole, I think I did mention that actually. Because I mentioned the headline. Anyway, the California, California City, they took a dump. And they dumped 37 tons of sand into a skate park to prevent kids from skating during the coronavirus lockdown. Can you believe that?
California? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming out of California, yeah. I believe that.
Imagine all those where all those cats that are roaming around going to be going now.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
That's the world's biggest litter box. That's why I'd be the one to have to clean that out.
Oh, shit. Yep, that's what it is. What's this lump? Ooh, tasty. It's a biscuit. No, it's not.
It's kind of big for a cat.
That's a Hey, we did run out of toilet paper there for a while. I mean, litter works pretty darn good. Not that I've ever used a litter box. I'm not above it, though. Actually, I would be above it, but wait, never mind. So that's what California is doing. And there's also, like I've heard that Michigan has some just stupid rules. Like you can be in a canoe with your wife, but you can't be in like a 36-foot yacht because they're stupid. Linda put better above than below the litter box. That is accurate. That is very accurate. So, there's definitely some really stupid laws, really stupid restrictions out there that has no foundation in anything of what we would call logic. Okay. Matt put wouldn't have stopped us. No. But yeah, I mean, just no logic in any of this whatsoever. I heard this story. There was a guy running on a beach and a cop was running up beside him. He was going to give him a ticket or whatever for being outside on the beach, practicing social distancing because there wasn't anybody else on the beach until the cop had to run up there next to him and say, "Hey, I'm not going to practice social distancing. Roger put, "Hey, HohO, you look stoned." I'm not stoned. Shh. So, but, and the guy like looked over at the cop and then was like, just took off, and the cop's like, "Yeah, okay, I give up. I'm done. I obviously can't catch you. I need to get that off of," there we go. So yeah, that happened. And I was like, wow, really? So, and that's what I don't get. I mean, it's like, okay, you see a guy out in the middle of Lake Michigan, and he's by himself with not another boat anywhere around him. And so is what the guy does, that the cops, they'll like, woo, and then go up to him and say, "Hey, you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing." It's like, I'm practicing social distancing because there ain't nobody else out here.
Right.
I don't get it. Stupid rules and regulations. And so, earlier this week, do you remember what day that was?
Groundhog Day.
No. Earlier this week, they had a traffic thing. They had a protest. They had a protest, okay, and it was a. They had a word for it. What's that word? What's that English word? For like when you're the traffic jam thing. They were playing the traffic jam, the Progressive Park traffic jam, very realistic roller coaster ride. They were playing that game around the square and whatnot. And I mean, they were still respectful. They cleaned up after themselves. They, they were practicing social distancing, and they were letting emergency vehicles by, all that good stuff. They were doing all that. No, not social. No, not at all, Roger. And social dictus. I can't even say that. Social distancing. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they had a demonstration, and there's several other places that I've heard that have done the same thing in various places. But yeah, I mean, Michigan is just horrible on some of the regulations they got out right now. I mean, it's right. Redonkulous. Linda put here, private airplane, several thousand feet of social distancing land, and then get told to refuel and go back to where they came from. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, dude, I'm up in the air by myself. Exactly. Several thousands of feet worth of social distancing. And they get in trouble. You go back to where you came from, sir. You can't be here. Mountain Dew.
Seen where South Carolina is going to open up their beaches again May 1st.
I'm sorry, who?
South Carolina. But the thing is, it's only for exercise purposes. And then it shows a bunch of people in a photo sunbathing. It's like, yeah, like people are really going to obey that. Like they're just going to go there just to take a jog. I don't see that happening.
Swimming is very exercising and goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. I seen this article, and this one cracked me up. It really did. And this actually came out of New York Post. Headline. Keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. How the Obamas could easily win 8 more years in the White House. Actually, the thing said 12. The thing said 12. Where's the thing at? I'm going to show you guys where the thing said 12. It's in here. See right there. How the Obamas could easily win 12 more years in the White House. And I was like, And then the article, I guess, was smarter than I was and corrected itself before I could read it. Because the article says 8 years. But anyway, yeah, I seen the article. I was like, 12 years in the, okay, 10. Yeah, okay. I'll go along with 10. 12, no. That's unconstitutional. They can't do that. And you guys will learn about that in knowing the Constitution when I get going on that in a while.
Right.
And there's still people out there, and I have to disagree with them. Oh, Matt put in here, Florida's opened up beaches as well. I've heard different places opening up. I know like Michigan's supposed to be opening up things shortly. As far as the Great Lakes are concerned, they're starting to open things up. And actually that's something we're going to be talking about very, very soon is Trump's plan for opening America back up. Okay. We're going to be talking about that. But I was like, because there's still people out there like, oh, she's going to be the pick for, she's going to be the pick for vice president. It's like, no, she's not. It's not going to happen. I had a thingy. It's like, it's not going to happen. She is not going to agree to be vice president. She is Michelle Obama.
Right.
She's not going to settle for number 2 because if you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Hello, Dave, over there in Spreaker land. Good to see you, sir. But yeah, she's not going to settle for that. I just called her he. Whatever. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're not making jokes on that. Okay. I'm not. No. But she's not going to settle for VP, guys. She's not. I mean, if she has political aspirations, she's shooting for number 1. And even she's not dumb enough to try to go up against President Trump because she knows President Trump is an equal opportunity butt whooper.
Right.
Her being a woman is not going to factor into the butt whooping she is going to receive. Kind of like Hillary. He kept his pimping hand strong, man. I'm just telling you. Quit calling, get Michelle. Her name is Michael. Okay, I'm sorry. Wow, that's amazing. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going there. I'm not going to say anything negative against Michael Obama. I'm not going to do that. I had to. Anyway, guys, we're moving on from that story. We're moving on from this one. I already did that one. I ain't doing
just
that. Just
curious,
no
you don't have the bumper music for the next break, those songs that says, just the swinging.
That's
just I didn't know if it was in your library.
Swinging. Anyway, that's a scary face right there. Look at that.
Oh God.
Let's see if that actually pulls up. That's a good old Nancy Pelosi. That's not the same picker. Now what? Now we're playing an ad? Thank you, ABC News. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. And since we're here, we might as well go ahead and talk about this. Pelosi signals bipartisan deal very close for relief on small business fund. Have you heard about this?
I knew she was holding it up. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Did
you hear why she was holding it up?
Refresh my memory.
Well, what happened was she is like, the paycheck relief bill has like 20, I don't even remember how many billions of dollars was in it, but it's already out of money. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the Republicans are like, we need to refund this. And she is like, I agree with you. This does need to be refunded. However, we have to do some things to it. See, we've got to guarantee more money to women, women business owners, and things like that. We have to be the good Democrats that we are. It's not enough that you own a business. You also have to be a female and own a business. And in which case, my thing is, all right, fine, you're a Democrat. 349 billion. Is that what they had originally, Roger, or is that what they're talking about upping it to, or refunding for? I'm not. I didn't think it was 349 billion. I could be wrong.
I think the original was somewhere around 250, 252, somewhere in that range.
That's what I thought. Well, I thought it was 2 something.
Yeah.
I didn't remember what, but I thought there was a 2. But anyway, that's what the original, the 349 billion was the original. Okay, cool. But yeah, so that's what they were talking about. It's like, okay, so we've got to give more money to these people, because 250 billion to come. The original dollar sign was 349 billion. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, yeah. So it's like, okay, so we've got to do our, thing. And of which case it's like, okay, guys, play the Democratic game. I'm transgender.
I identify as a woman.
Exactly.
During this long process.
Yeah. I'm Shania Twain. I feel like a woman. Bum, bum, da, 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 da. Let's go, boys.
Crap.
Roger says you're allowed to be wrong, and I am often. I can acknowledge that. All right, moving on. Moving on up. So yeah, here's this one. I heard about this, and there's so many things that they're talking about rolling back. Like the Olympics in Beijing. Okay, I get it's China, so I get that. But this is like 2022 Winter Olympics, and they're already talking about rolling them back. I don't get that. This is what year is this?
2020.
2020. Okay, that's right. We have perfect vision this year. Okay.
This is 2020.
Mm-hmm. Walter Cronkite?
Hugh Downs, Barbara Walters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
What else you got on there?
I don't know. I'm looking.
You're looking? Use that 2020 vision.
That is amazing, Roger. He says, I'm going to bring my show back. We have a presidency to defend, and you have got that right, sir. We've definitely got a presidency to defend. We have a nation to defend, period. We definitely do. We have a nation to defend. I'm excited to see that going, sir. So, yeah. All right, looking at headlines. Oh, yeah, here's this one. I seen this one. I hadn't heard this because there's a lot of stuff going around right now about, I keep hitting the wrong button. There's a lot of things going around right now regarding, the CDC, the WHO. I don't know who. It's just the WHO, and that's all they tell us. They won't tell us who's on first. They just tell us it's the WHO, and we don't like them right now. And, talking about anyway, this headline, CDC labs were contaminated, delaying coronavirus testing, officials say. And I'm like, I hadn't actually heard that, but I'm not exactly surprised at the same time, because that's actually one of the things that they think contributed to the outbreak, to the pandemic, was that, they were doing testing on the coronavirus, and I forget what, amazing stuff that they had said. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what they said that they were doing. They were doing some type of testing, or trying to do some type of testing, advanced testing. And whenever you're doing this, you need to have, more, the testing area that is capable of handling what it is that you're trying to test. And that's one of the reasons why that the level 4 safety level bio thing that they have in Wuhan in China, that they have, that's why they haven't let the WHO in there and the U.S. in there, is because of that, okay? Because it wasn't up to par. They weren't ready to do what it was that they were doing, and that's what they think was the primary contributor to this whole thing even happening in the first place. And I've also heard that China, they stopped and locked down the Wuhan province as far as crossing the border in China, but they didn't do that on the international level. I guess they didn't want to freak people out on that. That's just one of the things that I had heard. So that's one of the things that is delaying the coronavirus test. And also, President Trump, not that long ago, also even made an announcement that he is going to stop funding the WHO.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. And of which case, I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's stop funding the WHO. Yeah, the WHO. The
What?
the WHO. The WHO. I'm starting to talk like you now.
Okay.
The WHO.
Yeah, don't do
stop
that.
funding the UN. Stop funding all these world organizations that have no interest in helping the United States out in the first place. You know, most of these institutions are political. They're corrupt. They're anti-American. You know, but they want our money.
Exactly. You know, and that's the thing. One of the things that China was saying was, you know, you need to fund the WHO. We want you to do that. And that's what they were saying, you know, and that was a horrible Chinese impression, but that's okay because it doesn't matter. You know, kind of like that time I went to the Chinese restaurant and they were like, we need more food now. Fat boy joke actually happened to me. I thought it was amazing. Matt put in here, and dude, Matt, you got that, to the WHO down in Whoville, the big and the small, screwed us all over. So no money at all. That's awesome.
Wow.
Linda, that was amazing. I gotta read that again because I got to give that justice, and I did not. To the WHO down in Whoville, the big and the small, screwed us all over, so no money at all. That was awesome. That was good.
Good job.
So Matt put in here, a lot of live COVID websites have stopped and stop reporting the number of recoveries, and something is up. And Matt, you are absolutely right on that. And I have heard some information on that as well. What was I talking about before? I don't remember.
The WHO.
Yeah, so the WHO, defunding the WHO. It's like, okay, you guys have proven yourself to be nothing more than a talking head for China. So, okay, fine. If you guys are not going to report the truth, if you're not going to get in there and do your jobs, well, then we're not going to fund you. Why fund a communist regime, a talking point, or a talking head? Why do that? So he's like, nope, I'm done. Not going to do it. And China's like, you can't do that. You've got to fund them. You've got to do that. You don't stop funding them just because of this minor infraction. It's like, no, not going to work.
No.
And that's the thing. China has the second largest economy. Why can't they throw some funding whose way? I don't know whose way, but they need to throw some funding their way, right?
Right.
You'd think that they would want to do that. So now into what Matt was talking about. All right. A couple weeks back, I was talking about, the numbers. And this was one of the things that I haven't done any numbers at all, actually, today. I didn't even think about it until just meow. But the numbers they were talking about, I was talking, and I tell you what, I even tried to, because I had heard these numbers earlier that week, and I was trying to remember and look for where I had gotten the numbers from. And I had said something to the effect of exactly like that the flu virus had killed more people from January 1st to, I believe it was March 25th, than what coronavirus has. And I don't remember where I got those numbers from. Again, I didn't remember what the numbers were, but I remembered that was part of the figures in there. Okay. And okay. And whatever you want, HoHO gets, okay? Just use it as an icebreaker. Anyway. Dr. Burks showed the percentage per 1,000, and it came out of 11.24% in the U.S. and China, 0.33%, with a That's weird. That is definitely weird, Linda. So again, I don't remember where I had gotten the numbers from. I just remembered that I had seen those digits. Okay. Now, one of the things that, if you guys remember correctly, okay, what was the section? I think it was section 4099 or section 4409 of the Coronavirus Protection Act, whatever that thing was called, CARES maybe, I don't remember. But the CARES Act, they were talking about that, okay? And if you guys remember, part of that CARES Act, they were incentivizing healthcare professionals to mark a death as coronavirus, regardless of any test that had been done.
Right.
Did you hear what I just said there? Incentivizing healthcare professionals, healthcare industry, to mark it down as a coronavirus-related death because they get money for that.
Follow the money.
Exactly. They're offering them money. We will help reimburse you for the cost of your goings-ons based off of the amount of coronavirus deaths that happen in your hospital and cases that are in your hospital. So you're incentivizing them to lie.
Yep.
That's what they were doing. So prior to whenever this act became right there, did you love my sound effect right there? That's pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. So prior to that, the numbers for pneumonia, the numbers for the flu, and there was a couple other associated things in there. Well, their death rate dropped down to 0. Nobody else anymore has died from pneumonia or the common flu.
I think stroke was one of them too.
Stroke was one of them.
Out.
That could be. You know, but
so
again,
everybody stopped having strokes all of a sudden. What a miracle!
And the flu was no longer a thing, and nobody's having pneumonia anymore. So that's amazing. That to me is a miracle happened. I'm well. So basically, what I'm saying is, guys, you can't trust the numbers.
Nope.
Because them putting down the coronavirus as the reason by which they died, even though no test had been done, I really had a hard time saying that one right there. No test being performed, nothing. They're using it as a best case. Oh, what did he come in for? Traffic accident, corona related. That's what they put on the death certificate. And that's what's going on, you know. Car accidents and heart attacks too. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if he died of a DUI crash, and the guy had a bottle of Corona in his hand at the time, well, it's Corona.
It's obviously Corona. This has Corona written all over it.
Supplemental, he had Lyme disease too because there's a lime in the bottle.
Right. Oh my goodness. That was well played, sir.
Thank
well
you.
played.
Thank you very much.
That was very, very well done. So, yeah. So again, guys, you know, and I talked before about not being able to trust the infected because basically if they want to mark you as infected, they will. They'll just inflate the test. They'll turn up the amplifier up to 11. See what I did there? They'll just turn it up. And eventually, if they turn the amp up high enough, it's going to explode. It's going to go kaboom, you know, and it's a bad thing. I mean, it may sound amazing, but then it's done. So anyway, that's what you have, a blown amplifier. So you can't trust the numbers either way you look at it. You can't trust the numbers as far as, you know, recovered, because if they're not giving you a proper denominator, how can you make up a proper numerator? You can't trust the amount of infected. You can't trust the amount of the deaths. So you can't trust any numbers they're giving you right now. So here's my thing, and I talked about this earlier that I would finally get here, and here we are. We're talking about the 3-step plan that President Trump has put out for opening America back up. Sorry, I hit the mic. If we don't have accurate numbers, one, how can we justify the lockdown in the first freaking place?
All right.
And how can we know when it's time to, ta-da, grand opening?
Exactly.
How are we we supposed to know? Fact of the matter is we can't know. Linda put in her, I'm keeping my exosomes to myself. Exosomes. That word that's right there. I'm keeping that word to myself. Dude, that was an amazing episode, too. That was awesome. You know, and I tell you what, it is amazing, you know, talking about that. That was an episode of the Exum, of Live Talk, Alex Exum. Last week, I'm wanting to say this past Tuesday, awesome show. It's amazing how much we break down the human body, we break down cells and what they do. It's amazing how much we're learning. I mean, it really is. It's amazing to me. You know, with science, it is. Science amazes me. It really does. But yeah, we can't trust anything that they're saying. That's the bottom line, guys. We can't trust nothing. Okay? So how can we trust a lockdown?
Right.
How can we trust any of this? I mean, really, we don't know. We don't know anything because since the beginning, since day one, since before day one, they've done nothing but lie their butt off about what's going on.
Yep.
Ta-da! I realized where my hand was at, and I'm like, I gotta touch the camera. I touched the camera. Anyway, what else do I got on here? Well, let's see here. Well, I talked about that. Bill Maher to media. Trump calls you fake news. Don't make him be right. I don't care what fake news does anymore. You know, I mean, I really don't. I don't care about fake news. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's like, okay, we know that mainstream media is going to lie their butt off.
Right.
We know they're going to do this. Right? I'm not surprised anymore. I'm really not. You know, they have no more power at all. Okay? And whenever CNN shut off the feed.
Who?
CNN.
Who are they? Are they on?
They're the Clinton News Network. Whenever they shut down the news feed, whenever, you know, President Trump was doing a smackdown to the mainstream media and showing them all the timeline of the things that they said that they didn't say, that they said that this guy said instead, whenever that was going on, they shut the feed down. It's like, guys, you guys are afraid to be called out on your Bravo Sierra. Because that's what happened. That's what they did. They like, nope, we're shutting this down because this makes us look really bad. So we're shutting it down.
Like they don't look bad enough as it is already.
I don't.
They got to protect that 14% viewership or whatever it is now.
We got to keep these two guys that's watching. We got to keep them watching because that's where we're getting all our money from. These two guys. Apparently, Netflix put a ton of its shows and movies on YouTube for free. Who knew?
Wow.
Have you seen this knock down the house?
No.
Me neither. It's got our favorite potato head on there, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, the lovely representative from, you know, go back to, well, she can't go back to her original job because it's closed right now. But.
Is that under the scary horror category?
You know, it should be. You know, I think I've seen that in a horror movie before. It was actually like The Nun, maybe. You know, when they're... Never mind. But anyway, you know, and I've heard this too. I mean, I've heard that they're putting a lot of, you know, more left shows in Netflix, you know, politically left shows in there, but I really haven't seen it. I know there's like a Hillary series in there. It's not even up on my news feed. Why? Because Netflix knows that I'm conservative. Don't put that crap on my thing. Don't do it. Though I got to be honest with you, though, I did watch whenever David Letterman did his show.
Right.
You know, I'm David Letterman, and my next guest is, that was the show. My next guest is this guy. I watched the interview that he did with Barack Obama. I watched that interview. It was a good interview. It was a good interview. It was, though. It was a good interview. I'm not smacking myself again.
Wow.
Politically speaking, can't stand the man. As an indivisible, was a good interview. Don't you do it. I seen you moving over there. I got the camera that I can see you, man. I can see you. Anyway, what other stuff do I got? Actually, I think that's pretty well all we got.
That's it?
Yeah, I talked about that. Nearly 2/3 of Americans think Trump acted too slowly to fight coronavirus. Only the Americans that don't actually pay attention to what's going on and the only people that they listen to is mainstream media, then I would accept that. But especially considering this comes from Vox, I don't trust them. They're mainstream media. I don't trust the word that comes out of their mouth. So this headline is crap. There it is right there, the one in the middle. Okay, anyway, let's get off of there. Pelosi signals bipartisan, really very close. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's pretty well it.
Oh.
That's all we got.
Wow. Got a little something for you.
What's that?
I know we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on air, though. With the price of hand sanitizer and the scarcity of trying to find it around, I started making my own hand sanitizer.
It doesn't work like that.
Anywho, I got the video off of YouTube.
Oh yeah?
Before you even speak. Oh, you're so yeah, I can't reach you from here. Anyway.
Welcome to the HohO Show, ladies and gentlemen.
According to the thing, if you want to make your own, you get some rubbing alcohol. It has to be stop it. Has to be 90% or better on the rubbing alcohol. And see, you screwed me all up now.
I'm sorry.
And aloe vera, rubbing alcohol and aloe vera.
Oh yeah.
So it's 2/3 alcohol versus 1/3 aloe vera.
So it sounds like that would even be good for your skin.
Yes, it would be. And you can also put, they said you can also put some essential oils, a couple drops of that in there if you want to make it smell pretty or whatever. But basically 2/3 alcohol, 1/3 aloe vera. Just put it in a little jar, mix it together, and yeah, it works fine. So I mean, it's a cheaper way of making it because like a lot of things in the store, you're basically paying for a label.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean that's a whole topic by itself. But you're basically paying for whatever the label says. So make it at home and save some money, and you won't run out.
There was a brewery that was going to make hand sanitizer because they ran out pretty quickly.
Right.
And the federal government shut them down because there was an ingredient that they only needed, and they didn't actually need it because of what this ingredient did. But they only needed like 50 gallons of it to make the quantity that they had intended on making. But you can only buy it like in a 50 or like a huge amount. Right. And they only needed like 5 gallons of it. And you can only buy it by like either 50 gallons or a butt ton over that. And they're like, no, you don't actually need this for a hand sanitizer. The only thing that this ingredient did. Okay, now, mind you, I want you guys to go back into the Wayback Machine, okay? Hop in your DeLorean. Go 88 miles per hour. Get that lightning bolt, 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. Go back in time to November 5th of 1955. Hang that mirror up on your toilet, slip and fall. There you have the flux capacitor. If you guys followed that and you're still here, woo, you're amazing. The only thing that this ingredient does is make hand sanitizer taste bad. And federal regulation says you have to make it taste bad because, hey, Tide Pod. I was watching a guy on TikTok, and Linda, she says she's still here. And hello, April Neal over there in Facebook land. Good to see you. So, yeah, Tide Pod. But I was watching this guy on TikTok, and yes, a guy got me on TikTok. Anyway, I was watching this guy, and they were like, we're ticked because smoking age went from 18 to 21, and that is Bravo Sierra. And it's like, dude, your generation eats Tide Pods.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. Anyway, So yeah, they couldn't make hand sanitizer, something that as a nation we desperately needed. Those are my air quotes, and I did a very horrible job doing my air quotes because I popped my wrist just like a little while ago, and it really hurts, actually. I don't know how I did what I did, but I did it, and it's done.
Slap yourself in the head?
No, I mean, it was just a little while ago. Oh. I mean, I didn't do that, but that hurt too. Ouch. Son of a gun. And hello, Christine, over there in, where are you at? Spreaker land. Totally forgot where I was at. She says, hiya. Sorry I'm late. That is okay. But we're actually pretty well done.
You can always replay it.
Exactly. Because it is available for all that other stuff. Back to present time. Ethanol plants closing, which make carbon dioxide. So possible shortage of beer, soda, and seltzer water. What's that guy that like fell asleep next to the tree?
Newton?
No, he got hit by an apple walking past it. Rip Van Winkle, that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I've Rip Van Winkled myself back to present, so we're good now. Anyway, yeah, I think that's actually all I was. Oh, there was one other thing I was wanting to talk about, and this little article brought it up to the forefront of my mind. This is from Business Insider. Oh, crap. I really need to get rid of that ad. Okay, there we go. All right, so an anti-lockdown protest, because we talked about anti-lockdown protest things. Wow, I actually said that twice pretty good, too. That was good.
That's scary.
Anyway, an anti-lockdown protest in Austin, Texas, drew anti-vaxxers and Trump supporters chanting, "Fire Fauci? Fauci? I don't know. Fire that person."
That doctor.
Yeah. And here's why this brought this to the forefront of my mind. See, this has absolutely nothing to do with the actual article itself. It just reminded me of something, and that's vaccines. Let me ask you a question. Do you trust vaccines?
No.
Me neither. And here's why. If vaccines were, Christine put in here, tired of shortages, starting to feel like Russia from the 70s and 80s, they stood in lines for bread, etc. Oh, yeah. And they did. And that's the stuff that's going on down in Venezuela right now. You know, food lines and bread lines and just lines for everything. You know, socialism at its finest. That's what you have. You want to know what socialism looks like in the next 15 years? Go to Venezuela today. That's what you're going to have in 15 years if we continue down the road that we're on right now. Anyway, I'm not a vaccination type of a person because, you know, it's not the vaccine. If the vaccine had in it what the vaccine in my brain should have in it, which is a weakened strand of the virus to go into your body, to allow your body to easily fight it and make antibodies for it, then I would be all in for vaccines. So if you are a vacciner, okay, and I'm not knocking you if you are, you know, because I know in certain circumstances you've got to do it, whether it be for the job, whether it be for, you know, traveling overseas, whether it be for some other thing, military or whatever. I understand necessity. But in the past 23 years, I've only had, I almost used the wrong finger when I held up the finger. That was, did you guys notice that? That was good. I've only been vaccinated for the flu once. And here's the thing, too. Okay, the flu vaccine only has a 40% chance of actually helping you.
At best.
At best, yeah, absolutely. So it's like, why? Anyway, you guys have the right to. You guys ever been to the grocery store? Linda put in here, I had one flu vaccine many years ago and got pneumonia 2 days later. Wow. See, I'm not surprised because that's one of the things, too, with the vaccine. Its purpose is basically to weaken your immune system, making it more likely for you to actually get sick. Now, I mean, granted, it's supposed to be a weakened strain to where you'll be able to bounce back from it quicker and then to get your immune for it. But, you know, even still, that aside, what was I talking about?
The grocery store.
Grocery store. You also have ever been to the grocery store, right? You also picked up, a can of Mountain Dew off the shelf. You read the ingredients label of what's in this. It's very healthy because the second word on, I held up one, the second word on there is water. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's got carbonated in front of it, but even still. So they have the ingredients list, okay? That's my point. They got the ingredients list. So you can go, whenever you go to a place that has vaccines, you can request from the nurse, hey, nurse. Hello, nurse. I would like to see the ingredients list on this vaccine before you pump this poison into my body. According to the law, they have to show that to you. And then ask them, nurse, hello, pick me, please. Why is there formaldehyde in here? Why are we using a dead people preservative in my veins? Why is that? What benefit does it have to me? And how long does it take this preservative to filter through my body? If it doesn't ever take that, then is this going to deduct the price of what it's going to take to whenever I die, so that this way they won't have to put as much formaldehyde into my system? So do I get a discount? These are the things I need to know. Excuse me, nurse, why is mercury in here? Isn't this a heavy metal? Isn't this toxic? And doesn't this never leave my body? I don't understand this. Until they can actually tell me why they put some of the crap that they put in there, I don't want anything to do with it. It's not the vaccine itself I have a problem with. It's the added crap that they put in it.
Right.
That's
and
my problem.
I've gone on CDC website a year or two ago, unless they've changed it recently. I mean, you can go and check some of the vaccines on there, and they'll tell you right on there all those things that you just mentioned right on the CDC website.
Oh yeah,
unless they've changed it recently.
I don't think they have. I mean, it wasn't that terrible. I mean, it might have been a couple of years ago, but it's not been that terribly long ago since I looked at the ingredients list. And I tell you guys what, man, it's stupid. Mm-hmm. What all they put in there, and they can't tell you why. They can't tell you. They have no good reason for why they put the Bravo Sierra that they put in there. They can't tell you the benefit of it. They can't tell you how it benefits your body fighting the virus, or how it properly weakens the virus, or whatever. They can't tell you that. And don't tell me that they put this stuff in there to keep the virus weakened. It's like, look, you can make it and do that, and filter that crap out of it before you put it into my body. It's not that hard. If you got the technology to put the vaccine and put all that crap in there, you got the technology to take it back out again.
I can't confirm this, but I'm going to give an educated guess as to why possibly some of that stuff's in there. And that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show. Follow the money.
Yeah.
Somebody is making money off something with it.
That's like, DEF. I'm a truck driver. We have these things called DEF, which stands for diesel exhaust fluid. You want to know what that actually does?
What?
Well, one, they discovered a way to make money off of cow piss, because that's what it is. Water and pneumonia. Last time I checked, that's pee. That's what it is. I mean, you can literally pee in a DEF tank and go further down the road. I mean, you can literally do that. I'm not kidding whatsoever. Yeah, it's disgusting. But they found a way to make money off of this. And it doesn't do anything, okay? It bleaches, as in it takes the black out of the exhaust, but it doesn't actually change the carbon emissions of your motor at all. It doesn't change your emissions. It just makes it look better. It's not any better. It just makes it look better. For you, sensitive people out there that aren't getting covered with black, soot that's coming out of it. It's still coming out. It just looks clear now. So you tree huggers can still hug your trees and feel satisfied that you're doing something, even though you're not doing anything but just making it more expensive to operate, maintain, and travel down the road in a big truck. Thank you. Anyway, there's my rant for today. Christine put in here, I don't call those vaccines. The flu shot is annual shot every year, have to get it, and there is always a new strain that's not in the shot.
Right.
And I don't get it. And if you tell me this shot will protect me for life, I may consider it. You know, and Christine, I don't get it either.
I've gotten it before, and I honestly got it last flu season. And back in March, you remember how sick I was? I was sick the whole entire month of March. Got the flu.
Yeah, and you're right. They can't, you know, the vaccine, the flu vaccine, it's a best guess. At best. You know, and they flat tell you this. I mean, this is a best guess. I mean, this is the strain that we think is going to be more prominent based off of the strain that was more prominent last year. It's a best guess. They really have no idea. Again, 40% chance of being effective.
At best.
At best.
I think the last season it was around 10 to 14%.
Right.
You know, so that varies from time to time. So you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, it's a best guess. I mean, they look at what was prominent, and that's what they vaccine you against. And it's not. I mean, you got to do it. You got to renew it all the time.
And these pharmaceutical companies are coming out with new vaccines. The HPV vaccine for teenagers, and this vaccine, that vaccine, saying you need to have this now. Well, no, it's more like you need to line your pocketbooks is why you're making these things.
You know, and that's the thing, too. I mean, if they could actually show me why they put the crap in it that they do. And it's like, I'm sorry, man. I mean, there is absolutely no reason for me to put, you know, a heavy metal, mercury, something that is proven to degrade my mental capacity and ability to think. That's what's wrong with us nowadays. Anyway.
Probably.
I'm not going down that road. I'm not going the conspiracy line down here. But no, you know, what's that Mission Impossible theme? So anyway, you know, if they could actually tell me why they put that crap in there, then actual reason, because the people whom are administering these shots should actually have the info on this. And in which case, why don't you? Unless there's something nefarious going on. Right. I mean, that would make some sense at least.
And back to the coronavirus, they're wanting these vaccines to make these vaccines for the coronavirus. It's going to be the same thing as the flu. It's going to mutate. It's going to have, I mean, the effectiveness of it's going to be probably the same as the flu. You're still going to catch it, possibly. I mean, you know, what's
and just so you guys know, okay, so we're self-quarantining. We're keeping ourselves separated from the virus. Now, again, if you're high risk, if you have underlying health conditions, yes, social distance, do all that kind of stuff. But just so you know, an FYI, if you will. Did you like that? That was pretty good, right? You getting exposed to and getting, you know, the antibodies to COVID-19 will help you combat COVID-20.
Right.
Which is going to be the zombie virus. I seen that meme. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I had to laugh. But yeah, guys, getting, you know, when your body goes in there and beats one version of a virus, it helps it to beat the next, you know, because they're still basically similar. It's like, oh, you know, I've been through this before. It may not be the same level, but you kind of got to do the same thing, you know, with warping and this, that, and the other. It's like playing a video game. You know, you don't go right off the bat and play, you know,
level 14.
Right. I mean, well, you don't go right off the bat and play Assassin's Creed Revelations, which is the third in the 3-part series of the Ezio trilogy, because you don't know what's going on. Right. You got to play the first one. You got to play the middle finger. You can't start off with the pinky. It don't work like that. There's a series for a reason. Fighting this one will help you win against that one. If you don't, you ain't going to get it. You're going to confuse the snot out of your body. And that's where Xms comes in.
Excuse me, sir. Could you repeat all that?
I can't. Not at all. And that was absolutely amazing. And yes, Linda, I just put all that together and threw that nice, packaged it up real nice for you. There you go. That was epic and amazing. You guys would have to. All right. So for those of you, never mind. I can't even explain just all that. That was a lot.
Just rewind and just, you know.
Oh, no. You have to watch another show.
Wow.
Linda put nice cell snot analog. Yes, and I love that, by the way. The cell snot. And hello, Lily, over there in Facebook land. Good to see you.
Wow.
You don't go from Minecraft to Dark Souls. You'll snap your controller. Exactly. That was epic. That was amazing. I'm gonna have to clip that and put that somewhere and store it for later. All right, guys.
You good on that one?
I'm good. That was amazing. That was really good. I'm proud of myself on that one. That was epic.
Wow. So you got the Constitution thing coming up.
Yep, Constitution thing coming up, and guys, definitely check that out. I mean, I'm actually pretty excited to do this series. I really am, because it's going to help me re-educate myself on the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights and whatnot. I'm bringing different stuff into it, even going to be going through a little bit of the Federalist Papers, but I'm not going to make it about that. I might touch base on that one later on down the line. I haven't decided yet. Maybe it'll depend on the feedback from this. I don't know. But I'm excited to do it. I think it's going to be amazing. I think we all can learn a lot from this. And I definitely recommend it, because this is something that we need to focus on, especially with our younger generation. We need to bring the Constitution back. We need to teach our kids about the Constitution, because if you don't know the freedoms that you have, they can be taken away and you'll never know it.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple. And that's what's going on, guys, because through our ignorance, our freedoms are being eroded. And that's a problem for me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preach it, brother. Hallelujah. Anyway.
What else you got coming up? Anything else? Any movie stuff coming up?
Well, we've got, Mr. Vacker over there in Facebook land. We've definitely got some stuff, because he's seen, and I have now seen, the episode. Nice. I'm like, we really need to get back into it, especially with, Endgame happening and being done. So, I mean, we just got to get back into the movie review. We really do.
Yeah. We've been watching some old movies lately.
Yeah. We actually watched,
The Bourne's,
the Bourne
Identity.
Yeah.
I really love that series. I really like that series.
I do too. I like how they did it. I thought they did a really good job with it. They, and I'm a fan of jacked up storylines. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not really jacked up storylines, jacked up timelines, but not jacked up as in they jack it up like in Highlander Endgame.
Oh, boy.
Not that type of jacked up, but like bouncing back and forth on the timeline and keeping you as confused as possible to where you have no idea what's going on until the very end. That's awesome. And that's kind of what they've done in the Bourne series is keeping you confused, because there's some stuff that are happening that, I mean, granted, what's happening in like this movie isn't relevant to that one, but there's still side plots going on, and it's awesome. And so
yeah, to me, as long as they keep continuity to where it's supposed to be, unlike Endgame, which is the worst thing ever created. As long as they don't go that way, keep it real. Keep the timeline. Yes, exactly.
I hated Endgame.
You feel me?
I do. Lewis says, I got to go eat dinner. Oh, eat some for me too. And love you. Bye.
We'll be going to eat some stuff too later on.
We might have to do that.
Yeah. Food is good.
I might.
Because you're withering away.
That's how I test my hungerness is because like I can do a trick. I can smack the left side of my belly and make the right side jiggle. It's amazing. I mean, I recommend doing it. It's good. It's a good game. Good game to play. Anyway, guys, that's really all we got. Y'all have yourself a wonderful day. Oh, I forgot to mention. All right, guys. So as far as, because I want y'all's feedback with the Knowing the Constitution series, it's going to be starting up in the first Saturday, Sunday of the month. Let me know when you guys would like to see that. I have gotten some input, and thank you very much for that. And please go to either this episode or Knowing the Constitution episode from earlier this week in Spreaker. Just search for the HoHo Show in that episode, and there you can find that. Or head on over to thehohoshow.com, click on the forums tab, and go into the post message board thing for Knowing the Constitution and put your comments in there. Let me know if you want that to be a tag along with a normal Saturday show, or if you want that to be a separate show altogether. I'm going to try to keep those to like 20 minutes tops. Okay. I ain't guaranteeing nothing, but I'm going to try to limit those to just, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. 15, 20 minutes is where I'm going to try to keep them. Some of them may go over, but I'm going to try to limit the mouth and keep on point. That's for you. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So let me know, comment in those two places. And right now it kind of looks like it's going to be done on Saturday at 7 p.m. But again, just let me know. Or I'm sorry, on a Sunday at 7 p.m., not a Saturday at 7 p.m. That's when this show is. So anyway, that's all I got. That's it. So y'all just have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you guys very much for your input. Thank you for chiming in and joining me. And y'all just have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. And all that stuff I usually say. This has been The HoHo Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.